Alrighty. A little cold today. This might take a second. Alright, so we're going to let the tractor warm up for a second. Actually for a few minutes, because that was a little bit of a cold start there. Temperatures here in Colorado, I think last year, I think we got down to about -3, I think was about what I saw. And that tends to be early in the morning, about 5 a.m. All right, so before we start moving the big bales, we're going to start consolidating these small bales here. Put them a little more closer together, maybe get these out. Maybe we'll make single rows or something. I think I do have somebody coming to pick these bales up, so. All right, now we start with the first cut grass comes over now. So we'll have all this kind of separated out. And I have a fella who loves this stuff. He says his horses are all into that. And I agree, that first cut grass, that's some pure stuff right there. It's about 90% brome. I did plant Timothy, but I didn't really get the water on there the way I wanted to this year, so it didn't come out yet, but it's out there. And I'm thinking that now we got the pivot in the spring of this coming year, we're gonna have a good supply of Timothy out there, and we'll overseed again this year, coming year 2024. We'll overseed, we will aerate, and we will fertilize. So that should be a good combo for getting the brome, the Timothy, and we have orchard grass out there as well too. So this coming year I'm hoping we can increase our tonnage per acre, get a nice high first cut, and then we'll see what the following season brings, if they get more cuts from it or not. We're emptied out. That was the left side over there. This is all the right side, and this is the remaining grass from the first cut. 17 bales there. So now we are ready to start bringing this big guys over. One of the things I want to do is get that out of the way. Right. Let's do this. fits on one. Tractor work complete. Okay, so we have our hand stacked bales here, big bales on the far side, pulled up all the pellets except for the first row, and so that we're ready for load in when the new stacks come in. And I guess it's a good time to talk about why we use pellets. When you use a stack liner, which is how they usually pick them up out of the field, you know, the wagon will carry and it just automatically throws on. I can't remember how many bales it is, but let's just say it's 100 bales. And we actually have to use one of the smaller stack liners because the ceiling here doesn't really, it's a little low, so you can't use like the new 102s, the 103s. So you kind of got to use one of the older, like the 1002s, the New Hollands. But when that comes in and it brings the wagon in, and the bales are on there, and then it turns the bales over. Ordinarily, it'll just turn over, it stacks itself, and then it slides out. The bottom rails will come out, and then your stack is done. Then your next stack goes in front of it, they pull it out, and that's how the wagon's kind of designed to work. Well, the problem with that is, let's say it's 100 bales that they're putting on the wagon, and if it goes, let's say like 8 bales high, and you're setting that down, if you set it down on the bare ground, you're automatically losing. Look at my cat. Yes, babies. I know you were in a previous video. I promise you she was fed just recently. But when you put those stacks down, the stack that's actually on the ground, touching the ground, actually is going to rot really fast because as it makes contact with the dirt, it just will mold like instantly. And you lose that whole layer. So, you know, if like say it's 8 bales high, you know, you're losing a good percentage of bales that are always already on the bottom. And I did that last year, and it was fun to like bring the stack liner in, turn it over, and the stack was done, and then the next one go in front of it, next one go in front of it. But when it came time to actually like use those bales, losing that whole bottom row just kind of, it didn't feel right, it didn't sit right with me. So this year what we tried to do is we went to stacking bales on pallets to get them off the ground, and it's so much better. We're able to actually utilize all the bales that we have. So that's game changing for us. Now in the future, this baby cat, in the future what we want to do on this ground, and you can kind of see where the pellets have been and the bare ground is, but we want to put down a 3-inch rock base. If I can do that, I think I'll get the drainage we need, as well as the air. And I might try using the stack liner just directly on that next year and see how that goes, at least for the first cut or partial barn. I mean, I still kind of, to me, it's like one of those things where it's kind of like, I think I learned my lesson. I think I just want to stick with the pellets. But when you use the pellets, you have to hand stack, and that can be tough. I mean, my nephews helped me out with that. But, you know, and you can go higher with the hand stack too. So, I mean, there's pros and cons to each. Hand stacking is very labor intensive, takes some time. But, I mean, if we can salvage the stacks and, you know, just use a stack liner and put it directly on like a 3-inch gravel base, I mean, that might be something really to use. But I want to try it next year. We'll see how that goes. We'll line this barn and the older barn back there with that. The lean-tos kind of have that cement floor on it, so there's no sense in putting that there. But that's something we'll try next year. And again, everything's trial and error. I'm sure many of you that are out there farming, you have your own way of doing it. Some of you probably already know what's going to happen, you know, foresight of my trials and tribulations. But, you know, I think something I got to see and go through and, you know, figure it out for myself, I guess. Unless you want to leave some comments down there. You want to leave some comments below, definitely, that would work. But yeah, we're just waiting for these loads to come in, and then we'll start stacking here. Barn is nice and clear. We're ready for some hay. So, as they do, and there we have it. I know that was horrible. I'm sorry. I wanted to try it, but hay's in, looking good. Oh, that was tough. So ends another great day. Wanted to thank you guys again for hanging out with me. Remember, if you can, please like and subscribe. I know a lot of you kind of come across this. I do have some other channels out there, or some other videos. I think I'm like 2 weeks into this, but I'm really trying to do a good job with this and get better as I go. And, you know, just being real. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye.